Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Very good afternoon to everyone present here. I, Dr. Savita Sharma, on behalf of Luck or the Blue School of Hospitality and Tourism, welcome Ms. Mika Eoka, Mr. Rajiv Joshi, Mr. Ravi Joshi, faculty members, students, and all the participants who have taken out their precious time to attend today's webinar, which is on sake. Ms. Mika Eoka possesses Sake International Diploma, JSA, and WSET Level 3. WSET London is a Tokyo-based Japanese sake sommelier. She co-founded Sake Club India along with Mr. Ravi Joshi, a prominent beverages passionate and writer from India to promote the cause of sake in India. Within a year of its founding, the club has conducted marquee sake sessions that have stirred up unprecedented interest about the beverage in the country. Ms. Mika, with her in-depth knowledge of sake and a rich global experience, can easily be called an ideal ambassador of sake and its larger superset of Japanese culture. Once again, I welcome Ms. Mika for the session. Over to you, Ms. Mika.
Okay, thank you. So before starting, so let me one more. So good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I hope you are staying very healthy and happy today. Can you? Okay?
Yes, good
Yeah.
afternoon, ma'am.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's fine.
Yeah, okay. So now local time here is 6:30. This is perfect time for me to start not drinking but sake. So this is Mika. My name is Mika. I'm an international sake sommelier and lecturer and also co-founder of Sake Club India. And then this is my great pleasure and honor to provide a sake guidance to the young, talented people like you. And before going to the lessons, let me give you one word. Here, can you see my hands? Your future is in your hands. Your future is in your hands. So everybody knows we are facing the most difficulty right now. However, the sun will rise again. That's the reason why we need to now starting prepare for the future. Once the luck comes in front of you, you need to catch it and take it. Sake may help develop your future career paths by broadening your alcohol beverage portfolio. Okay, now let's share my PPT. Try this one. Okay. So Sabita, how about this? Is it okay?
Yes, let's
Okay.
start.
Okay. Let's quickly go through my activity, sake activity in India. So now September 2019. Embassy in India, I provided sake guidance. At the time, I chose the media people. Then I met Ravi Joshi. He is co-founder of Sake Club India. And he flew to Japan. And we both visited sake brewery during the brewing season. And Ravi was so lucky. He actually jumped in the sake event conducted by the brewery owners. And in February 2020, I came back to Delhi and provided masterclass to Miss Sake India. It was so beautiful. After then, because travel was not an option, we decided to provide sake seminars online. So basically, I am online, and he, Labi, helped locally provide sake, and jointly we are working on sake. So many sake classes so far. And our milestone was only 2 months ago. It is amazing. But 2 months ago, we co-hosted sake session in Embassy of Japan and luckily invite selected people from Sake Club India. So what is Sake Club India? Sake Club India is a first ever Indo-Japan SNS-based sake community. We are providing the comprehensive sake lecture like education, stats, and what's going on in Japan in the structured format. So if you are interested in, please join us. I will give you the QR code later. And then, of course, as our activity during the COVID, we provided the Hotel and Management University like you, BCM, MT, Geography, IIM, lecture. So encourage the younger people. You may be interested in why sake is now better to learn. Why sake now? Because now this is global recognition perspective. So there are many international sake hours. This is Kula Master. Kula Master started 2017 by the French sommelier for the French people. So this is for the French palate, and French people now love sake. Here, this is IWC for the London, and this competition has started 2007. So constantly they have contributed to sake to raise its profile. Now, the judges all over the world gathered in London and then assess sake. Unfortunately, this year, of course, London has a British resident only. They work on behalf of us. Now, so today, this competition is comprised sections. For example, sparkling sake, aged sake, Junmai sake, and then tournament. And finally, the champion of all the jump will be announced this year, June 30th. June 30th. So we now sake raised its profile, and so many international competition, even in China, of course in US. In the future, why not in India? And now, this is from Asian recognition perspective here. The sake export value amount 2020, 2019. Red bar is 2019. Blue bar is 2020. So now, USA has a big contributor to the sake export so far until 2019. Last year, you can see Hong Kong, China, and even Taiwan and Singapore. So Asian regions made good performance and greater value than the previous year. How about India? So unfortunately, India we see still difficulties. So high tax and also the regulatory requirements, but in the future, we will go to India. And of course, I will bring sake. And here, from Indian market perspective, most important thing is here, be a market builder and leader, because sake market is very primitive in India, starting point. So that's why you can be a builder of the market. And also familiarize rice. So there are only 2 countries in Asia having country's name in rice name. There are Indica rice, Japonica rice. So Japanese people believe that Indian people understand sake because we have the same rice palate and opportunity to the Indo-Japanese Japan bridge. This is, once you understand sake includes everything in Japan. For example, daily lives, culture, history, tradition, and customs. So once you learn sake, you can move on to the tourism market as well. Now, from Japanese perspective, we are facing aging society. In the decades, the domestic market will significantly shrink. So brewers seeking opportunity overseas. So now, broaden your beverage portfolio and secure yourself. This is my long message. Okay. Now we are moving to today's agenda. Today's agenda constitutes 5 sections, almost 5 sections. So first one is culture. The second one is what is sake. The third one is very important one. This is wake up time, koji and umami. And fourth, seafood wrapped sake. And finally, the basic theory of pairings. So let's start. Here, as a Japanese culture, it's written as Nihonshu, Nihonshu, read as Nihonshu. This is Japan sake. And Japan sake is geographical indication. Why sake is so important for us? Because in the ancient, sake is a sacred offering dedicated to the god. Why? Because of rice. Has been a staple diet for Japanese ever since rice came to Japan. And sake plays an integral part of Japanese culture, climate, seasons, everything. Now, this is sake with seasons. In spring, we are enjoying sake with cherry blossom, and in summer, looking up the galaxy or the shooting star, and in autumn with the moon, in winter with the snow. Japanese people are so romantic. And also this one, sake with 5 seasonal customs. This is originally from China, so Japan and China are very much closely associated in the ancient. Interesting thing, all are odd number. You can see 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, and 9, 9. And only January, 1st of January is the new year, so pushed back to 7. So now,
Excuse me, Miss Mika. I think the slide is not changing.
Sorry?
The slide is not changing.
Really?
Yeah. The students are replying, they are messaging on the chat box that it's not moving. Yeah. So we are on the first slide. The introduction.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big problem. So you cannot say my slide well.
Yeah. So you can just move on to the next, I think.
No, actually, I'm moving to the page 12 right
Yeah,
now.
but this is not moving actually. Can you just share it again? I think then probably it will help us.
Okay, it's just okay. What happened? Okay.
No, they are so nice that they have told us.
But you can see that, right? So how about this one? Can you see now?
Right now, no, there is no slide.
No slide right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I will try to share again.
Yes,
Then
please.
try this. Oh, slide is missing. Sorry for everybody.
No issues.
Okay.
I think now it will come
It
back.
happens. It sometimes happens in life. Okay. Can you see now? No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
How about
Yeah.
this? How about this? Can you
Yes,
see?
it is visible. Yes, and this is the second slide which we can see.
Second, right? And how about this one?
Yeah, this is the next slide. Yes.
And listen, you now
now
you're saying. So then, if I can you see the changes now?
We are on the third slide.
Okay. It seems I'm not sure, but once I use a slide, you cannot see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Then try this one. So this is not the beautiful screen. However, okay, much
This is
better.
Yes, better.
Okay, sure. Okay, you can see this all right?
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay, this one I'm explaining the Sake Club India. So that's right. I told you the comprehensive Sake information here. Just back to the original one a little bit. And then this is our footsteps, working on the other universities to encourage people. And now, so this is a club master, the French sommelier, and the French, this is international hours club master, and IWC, the London charities. And now, so this is the graphs here at the red bar and blue bar. You can see Hong Kong, China, and Taiwan and Singapore. They are showing a good performance in the year 2020 during the COVID. And now here, this is such kind of encouragement for the people, to broaden your beverage portfolio and secure yourself. Okay, now, can you see this one? It's okay?
Yes.
Okay, now you can see Japanese culture.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so this is Japanese culture. So starting from this one, now we are sake is a sacred offering dedicated to God. And then the rice is our staple diet ever since it came to Japan. And second thing Yeah, here is sake with season, cherry blossoms, and then we can have the shooting star, and then moon. And this one is winter with the snow. So I said Japanese people are so romantic because of this. And now, yeah, here we are stopped. Here at a 5-5, this is a boys' festival. We are praying for the boys' healthy growth. With this one is a leaves with a lily. The shape of the leaves it looks like this one is a sword. So we driven off the evils. This one is a girls' festival. Oh, this is not a cherry blossom. Instead of this one is the peach blossom with a white sweet sake, praying for girls' healthy growth. And it's same, this one is dry. So dry, it is interesting. Lovers, the women and men loving each other, meet only once a year. And then, but during the rainy season, it cannot make happen. However, we are praying for the upcoming, the heating seasons, and then again praying for the healthy days. Then starting from this September up to until March, this period we are called warm sake period. Warm sake period. Sake can be enjoyed wider temperature ranges, starting from 5 degrees up to until 60 degrees. So that is enjoyable. And then this is January 7th, start of the work. Typically, we are tapping on the lid and we say open, don't say break. Open the lid and then pray for our wealthy and healthy year. And now, this is a wedding, the sake with lights. Bride. They are sipping sake from this one, and 1, 2, 3, and again, and turn to the blue. And the lady, 1, 2, 3, and turn to blue. And they are doing in total 9, because 9 is the auspicious number in China. And third, New Year's Day. This is the oldest liqueur in Japan. So medical herb is infused in sake. Of course, we are praying for healthy days. In autumn, we sometimes say man on top of man, even the sake barrel on the man. We are thank you for the harvesting period and also praying for the next year. And now, sake itself has a seasons. Sake brewing season typically start October and using newly harvested rice in September. So new rice is used for brewed sake, and new sake is going to the market in December. This is extremely fresh, unpasteurized. And then again, the sake is made here and then stored up to until dry. And this is summer sake. Draft summer sake is extremely, this one is refreshing. Usually alcohol degree a little bit lower. And again, this sake is pasteurized and stored up to until October. This sake passed summer heating and then becomes mellow and well harmonized, very good with autumn party food. So this is the end of the first section. So I hope you understand sake is very close to our daily lives, customs, traditions, histories, everything. Okay, now let's move on to the second one. What is sake? What is sake? Sake is Japanese alcoholic beverage made of rice and koji. So let's see the sake positioning in the entire alcohol beverage. Now, alcohol beverage divided into categorized into 3, fermented, and this is distilled, and liqueur. And then fermented is, for example, you can say the Sula wine, and for example, Kingfisher beer. This is fermented products. And sake is as well. Sake is among the fermented products. Distilled, you are more familiar than me. So Indian people loves whiskey, brandy. And the liqueur is the gin. So today we are focused on the fermented product. And next slide is, this is a fermented product in all over the world. when you see each region has a different types of fermented products. Now, so Western Europe has a fermented fruit, which is wine, and then the Europe and Africa germinated grain, which is beer. India has a lot of fermented alcohol, not only wine and beer, but also fermented sap. And this is somebody is on top of the palm tree. And when you see this green circle, including us, we are creating brewing sake by mold, by fungus, because we are taking advantage of high temperature and high humidity. So mold and fungus. Koji fungus is very important for Japanese people. Now, let's compare the wine, beer, sake, but before that, let's review alcohol fermentation. What is alcohol fermentation is? So by microorganism, sugar is converted to alcohol and carbon dioxide. That is alcohol fermentation. Now, wine is made from grape. Grape has a lot of sugar, so it is easy to understand fermented. And beer. Beer is made from barley, and barley has malt. Malt once saccharized, and saccharized sugar converted to alcohol. Then sake. Sake is made from rice. Rice doesn't have any sugar. Rice has starches then. Now, koji fungus, the primary role is to convert starch to sugar. And then at the same time, sake is working on that. So basically, koji and yeast working together. We say multiple parallel fermentation, and this is very unique and only applicable to sake. And because of this uniqueness, so here, wine, you say, quality of grape define the quality of wine. For sake, rice is very important for sake. However, most important thing is brewing skills. That is people. So we often say sake is made from rice, water, and people. Why the skill is so important? So back to the screen. Here, wine. Wine has a sugar, and the brewers know how much sugar to be converted, right? You can see the sugar. And beer. Beer has a saccharized malt, and again, the brewer knows how much sugar into alcohol. For sake, because sake is, koji is now converting starch to sugar and is working together. So they are basically working together. Then brewers don't know how much sugar converted to sake in front. So, however, despite the challenges, sake brewers able to achieve remarkable consistency because of their technique. So technique and people are very much important for sake. This is great difference. And also the water. Sake is made of 80% of sake is water. And water is very important because in the water, koji and yeast working together, right? And koji, if the fungus makes too much sugar, and then the yeast is just overwhelmed and they cannot make alcohol. And by contrast, if the yeast is too much active and the koji makes a little sugar, then the yeast are hungry and they are dying. So affinity and balance between koji and yeast is very much important for sake. And now, so the other characteristics is sake is alcohol higher, so usually 16 to 18, so higher than beer and wine. And amino acid. Sake has a lots of amino acids. That's why sake is very good for health. And acidity. Sake is lower acidity compared to wine. Wine has a lot of acidity and tartaric acid. Sake's acid is more lactic acid and succinic acid and malic acid. So in words, sake is well balanced. Lower acidity, lower astringency, lower bitterness, and higher amino acid. And I do think vegan people, lots of vegan people in India, please share information. Sake is vegan. So now you can say, can you see this? The label here, the vegan label here, and the Japanese brewer is now putting the vegan mark so that independently it proves sake is vegan. Okay, now let's go to the third section. Now, wake up time, koji and umami. Koji and umami is very important. So now, koji fungus, I told you, this one, the primary role is to convert starch to sugar. This is primary work. However, koji have a lot of works. Secondary, they break down protein into amino acids. And koji is a foundation of Japanese food culture. Now, let's see. Fermented product. Now, miso, soy sauce, vinegar, and mirin. This is made by koji and our daily seasonings, fermented product. And it's a this one, fermented bean, natto. Interesting story. So during the COVID time, every time I go to the store, natto is out of stock because it has a rumor natto is very good for COVID. And now when we see the Indian has tempeh, idli, achar, and I say the dosa. Dosa is a fermented product. So I do think you have lots of fermented food. That's why you know the umami. So what is umami? Umami is one of the 5 basic tastes after sweetness, saltiness, sourness, bitterness. Here, umami. When we say the Ayurveda, you will have 6 tastes: sourness, sweetness, salty, bitter. They are the same as us, however pungent and astringent. So if you understand the umami and if you get the umami into your palate portfolio, again, you can broaden your portfolio. That is good for you. Now, so umami is sometimes described as savoriness, and characteristically, umami creates synergy effect. For example, umami has A group and a B group, and when we take A and B together, it boosts up. It creates 1 + 1 = 4, 5, 6. So boost up. When you can take the pork itself and the tomato, however, sauteed pork with tomato sauce, that is umami magic. Here, sake has a lot of umami amino acid in it. That means, literally, when you drink sake over dishes, that is create synergy effect. That's the reason why sake is said very good for food pairing. And those who don't know umami is just rice mushroom and microwave or sauteed, and then no salt. That is umami flavor. Or it says consomme soup without any salt. That is umami. And umami, the word is very new. However, historically, each region has an umami. Japanese soup stock is made from kombu kelp and dried bonito, which is A group, B group, and Western onion, carrot, celery, and beef, A and B. Chinese, spring onion, ginger, and chicken, A and B. I do think Indian the same. Indian dal, the soup made of this mechanism. I will see you later. And then, this is scientific data. Compare beer, wine, sake. You can see here, sake has a lot of peaks because umami. Sake has a lot of umami. That's why sake is very good for pairing food. Now, we are moving to seafood loves sake. Yeah, this is so cute, right? So lobster get closer to sake. They are enjoying sake. Why sake goes well with seafood? Because seafood loves sake. So remember this word, seafood loves sake. Now, again, compare sake, beer, wine. Alcohol, sake is higher, right? And the glutamic acid. This and glutamic acid, umami. Umami is higher, sake. Now, sulfur, new word, sulfur dioxide. Sake doesn't have any sulfur, and wine has sulfur dioxide. And this sulfur dioxide and iron, these guys brings fishy smells of raw fish. Fishy smells. So let's see iron first. When you see the iron, this is More and more iron, more and more fishy smell. Black dot, this is red wine. White dot is white wine. Where is sake? Because sake is stipulated below 0.2 ppm because iron is the most undesirable mineral for sake, making sake's color reddish brown and accelerate aging. So this is not good for sake, so brewers are very much careful about iron. Next one is iron and DHA. So when the iron combined with the DHA, DHA is a docosahexatic acid, fish oil, often seen with a brewback fish like mackerel, herrings, sardines. And then, when once combined, they cause bitterness. You can see wine A and C, B and C, they cause bitterness, right? Wine B nothing, and sake nothing. And this is sulfur dioxide. So when the sulfur again with the DHA, so DHA itself is very good. It is said boosts the memory, but once combined with the sulfur dioxide, it causes fishy smells. Wine A and B, high fishy smell here. Do you think why D doesn't have even the wine? This is pure wine. So sulfur-free wine like sake doesn't cause anything. So now you understand because the wine just bring out the negative aspect of the seafood while sake accommodates. So good thing is when you go to the restaurant and with a girlfriend, then you order seafood and then, oh, very good pairing with sake. That is cool. So please remember, seafood loves sake. And next one is cheese. So everybody know wine is very good with cheese. However, sake is good with cheese as well. Here, different effect. Wine, because of wine is high acidity, high astringency, washing out cheese on the tongue. And then you can reach another cheese. For the sake, again, the correct synergy effect. So you can feel in your mouth the boosting effect. So I really recommend you experiment in the future. So on the tongue, there is cheese. And then because of the mouth, this is a little bit warm. And then the temperature is warm and boost umami. And different aspect is cheese has salty and sake is sweet. And sweet and salt, this is dangerous combination. And also, both cheese and sake are fermented products, also some kind of mushroom flavors. This is my favorite restaurant in Japan, Indian restaurant. You can see here, palak paneer. So this combination is perfect because the paneer is kind of the cheese, and this one is very good with sake. And also cheese naan instead of pizza. Pizza and cheese naan, the cheese is very good. And also yogurt salad and chicken tikka. Basically, sake is very good dairy products like the yogurt, butter, cheese, and milk. This one is sake's boost magic. Okay, now let's do the second health life for the ladies. Actually, for the ladies. Ladies, good news. Collagen score with junmaishi. Junmaishi is not added any alcohol, just is simply made from rice and water. And here, this is collagen, and every day if you take moderate amount, not too much, moderate amount, you can get that good skin. Yeah, actually that's true. Japanese usually commonly has a good skin because of sake. Not sake, but actually sake is very good for skin. And now for your mother, here, osteoporosis. Ladies like me, and then sometimes suffered from osteoporosis and bone density, mineral density, and then sake is very good to osteoporosis and dementia. But be careful, it says right to moderate drinking, right? And finally, very recent, 2020 February, Nagasaki University said 5-aminolubinic acid inhibits COVID infection. This is under experiment. So here, 5 ALA putting on the COVID counter and nothing uninfected. Not only for sake, but also wine and vinegar has the ALA, 5 ALA, but higher porridge wise, it says there is less nutrients, and then that's why yeast makes 5 ALA as a substitute material. Very much interesting. Okay, so now let's go to the tasting side. Today, unfortunately, no tasting, so there's a ceremony of the tasting. Here, sake is basically categorized into 4 sections: aromatic sake, refreshing sake, rich sake. This is umami sake and aged sake, based on the flavor profile and aroma profile. So aromatic profile is high aroma. Sake has an apple, like green apple, strawberry, and banana. Yeah, this fruity aroma. And this fruity aroma is aromatic sake. And then the important thing is each category has the best pairing, glassware, temperature, and food. So each category has a different matching glassware, temperature, and food pairing. So aromatic sake, of course, the banana or strawberry. So the temperature-wise, lower temperature. It says 8 to 12 degrees and highly aroma. And refreshing sake, actually, for example, summer, this one is very refreshing, of course, cold, for example, 5, but it is also good for 50 degrees and 60 degrees. So sake is versatile for the temperature, starting from 5 to up to under 60. And this one umami. Umami is very good with the warm temperature. So once the temperature goes up, umami boosts up. And then this is the aged sake here. So you can see that here, yeah, understandable. Aromatic sake. Aromatic sake is basically that kind of fruity aroma. This is very good with herbs and fresh vegetables. So you have salad and then kachumbo salad. That is very good aromatic sake. With olive oil is also good. Now, refreshing sake. Basically, refreshing sake is very refreshed, light, delicate, and also crisp. That is good with the vegetables. So, puri, samosa, and vegetable pagoda, which kind of thing is, and dal as well. So basically, based on the vegetables or white meat fish, that is very good. And rich sake, umami sake. Umami sake is dairy food or more umami type. So marai tikka is a perfect combination. And chicken tikka, chicken tandoori, or this is a cheese naan, and also butter chicken, butter chicken. But not only for the chicken, not only for the dairy products, all things having umami. And aged sake this one is very good. Mutton, spice, not mutton, because it's spicy and nuts flavors. Aged sake has a layer of flavors, starting with caramel, nuts, and some kind of spiciness. And then this is very good with mutton or lamb. So Indian food is very good with sake as well. So I'm looking forward to pairing on the ground. So now, this is actually served at Labi's apartment. So now you understand seafood loves sake. This is shrimp, and this one is a vegetable, the mutton curry, chicken curry, and also this is creamy marinated mushroom with sake. All are very nice. And finally, how to keep sake. So 2 things. Sake doesn't like light and heat. Sake doesn't like light and heat. Have you ever been to Japan in summer? So if somebody yes, so many people have the umbrella under the sun because we don't want to get suntan. Likewise, sake needs umbrella. Don't put the sake light and heat. So if you put the sake under the showcase, be careful about the fluorescent light. Sake doesn't like fluorescent light. And also, sake is just stay upright, not this way, upright. And also, this is the room temperature is okay. However, in India, highly recommend in the chilled place, like wine cooler. And once uncapped, sake not going bad. However, if you want to keep the aromatic as it is, then highly recommend to consume earlier. However, Junmai sake, it's a umami sake, a longer shelf life. Okay, so that's all for today. So you should please remember koji and umami, most important keywords for sake. And sake is sulfur-free and cool. Seafood loves sake. And temperature, wider range of temperature, and finally, vegan. So now, this is the end of story. Hopefully, you have some understanding of sake, and I'm very much looking forward to meet you on the ground next time. Okay, Savita, this is the end of the story.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really a wonderful presentation. So let us just give the opportunity to the attendees that if they have any query which they want to ask, I think we should take that. So let me just ask if anyone has any query, you can drop in into the chat box, or even you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Both the ways you are free to ask the questions. Okay, before anyone else, asks any questions, I have, one question. So, when we open the bottle of sake, then for how long we can use it?
Yes, okay, very good questions. So once uncapped, so it really depends on the sake types. For example, aromatic sake, if you want to enjoy the gorgeous aroma, you should consume within 1 week. However, it doesn't necessarily say sake is going bad. So, but freshness is going, of course, this is a little bit exposed to the air, oxidized, and then the aromatic aroma will a little bit decreased. So, but umami sake is more longer. For example, 1 month or over 1 month or even longer. So it's really depending on sake. And in India, I highly recommend to put into the fridge.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, so we have more questions coming up.
Yeah.
There's a question from Mr. Das Gupta. Service style of sake.
Service style of sake. Service style. Service style means, do you mean
How do you serve it to the guest?
to
What
the
is the
guest?
service style?
Okay,
Yeah.
so sake has a wider range of temperature. It depends how to pair with. For example, we have used sake for the aperitif, and also you have the dinner course, right? For example, starter and main and dessert. Likewise, sake have each combination. The sake designated for the starter, sake suitable for the main dishes, and sake suitable for the dessert. We have some multiple sake styles, so each sake has each combinations, and also temperature. Cold sake or warm sake, and cold sake usually with the glass and wine glass for the aromatic sake, and for the warm sake, the more the pottery, thick pottery, and then served with the warm sake.
All right. Thank you so much. There's one more question. Is there a particular way to taste or enjoy the sake like wines have? This question is from Mr. Ribhav Srivastav.
Particular way to taste or enjoy sake. So, sake is the temperature. Yeah, I think the temperature is very good, and also the seasons. So, likewise, if you want to get the refreshing one, especially for the summer, India is very high temperature. I do have sake with a rock ice, and then sake can be the cocktail base, and with, for example, putting the mint of the ice and then drink it. And this is more like not a short glass, but a wider glass. And if we want to just straightforward, and then like the more cylinder type glass, so that sake is sharply going to the throat. And likewise, sake has an occasion, and sake has a partner, and sake has the seasons. That's kind of thing we are thinking about that. Of course, and then sake makes you warm. So, and then in the cold winter, we recommend the warm sake so that there is blood circulation getting better, and then you can feel much warm. And warm sake is very good with umami. That boosts the umami. So Indian dish is very good with warm sake. However, too much spicy one and too much flavor intensity, and this, we need to keep the balance. Is
Thank
that
you.
okay? Yeah.
Now, there is one more question from Mr. Rahul Chaudhary and Ms. Shrishti that, is sake meant to be aged like wine? Or probably, is sake meant to be aged like wine? It's the same question from both.
Okay. Aged. Yes. We have the aged wine, aged white wine, aged sake as well. So typically says sake is just usually sake is made from the newly harvested rice, usually commonly. So while likewise, unlike wine, not vintage rice, we say, not vintage grape, or more like the, as I say, the skill is very important. However, we have the vintage and then 30 years, 40 years sake recently, but still not so common. It is still just like recently coming up. We are trying to make the aged sake, and it is very interesting, aged in the deeply in the sea or a tunnel, because the temperature is kind of stable. So we are trying to many ways now the aging sake is being created.
All right. Thank you so much. Then we have one more question, I think. He wants to know about Diageno category sake.
Daiginjo, yes. I think there's Anshao.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you are the knowledge about sake. That's why Daiginjo is a terminology of sake. So about Daiginjo sake is especially the sake rice is portion outer side, because outer side has a lots of nutrients. If the nutrients too much, then that accelerates koji propagation. As a result, we cannot create desirable style of sake. So now, Daiginjo is highly polished. So, for example, if you say rugby ball here, it's a brown rice sake, and after polished like this. So Daiginjo, when you say the Daiginjo, oh, highly polished, and then as a result, only starch core and only pure starch is remaining. And that means very much pure and delicate and soft texture. That is Daiginjo sake category.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Thank you. Is there any other question? If anyone wants to ask any question, you are still free to ask. Chef Sachin Verma has raised his hand. So please.
Good afternoon. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes. Please.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Oka. In your presentation, towards the end, you gave that sake apparently goes well with Indian mutton. But at the same time, the point was discussion was, and I have tasted it. I believe that sake is a very very delicate and it's a beautiful drink, which you cannot have it with a very spicy or very harsh food.
Okay. Yes.
In India, the method of cooking mutton is actually using a lot of spices and the use of, and I would like to understand from my Indian chef Saurabh obviously, I don't know if you would agree with me, is that the amount of spices, the raw, the whole spices and the ground spices in mutton dish in India and even in the Goanese prawn curry are quite hard, and they are quite spicy. So what I'm trying to understand that what type is that, a umami sake that will go well with mutton, or what kind of a sake would you recommend with the Indian preparation of mutton or with the tandoori style cooking of Indian cookery?
Okay, so I do believe Indian dishes has a versatility. So even though you are using mutton, so mutton flavors, very spicy mutton, and medium spicy mutton, and low spicy mutton. So many types of mutton dishes. Likewise, sake has many flavors, especially for the spice one. The aged sake. Actually, aged sake means 5 years, 6 years. That is, sake aging is different from wine. Wine is more oxidative, but sake is Maillard effect, we say. Maillard effect means the amino acid and sugar combined together and they are clearly harmonized. And as a result, spiciness and also caramel, nuts, coffee, such kind of flavors, the layered. That aged wine is very much with mutton. However, we need intensified and equal intensified sake and mutton or whatever dishes. So balance each balance should be of course keep parallel. However, we have that kind of sake. Sake has a very diversity. So floral sake is a major, for example, for the younger people or the starting point, the very newbies. However, sake is floral and refreshing and also more umami flavored and aged flavored. So different category. That's why sake can be must with India food.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sachin.
Thank you. Now we have a few more questions. Ms. Paridhi, she's asking that is there a particular season in which sake is brewed?
Yes, okay. Sake is actually recently 4 seasons because of technologies, but in the ancient, for example, starting, for example, 17th century, 18th century, only in the winter because cold under the cold weather, and then less risk for spoilage. So sake is based on the microorganism, koji and yeast and other microorganisms combined together as they are created. However, if the temperature is high, more risks to get exposed to the spoilage. That's the reason why sake is brewed in the winter, very much cold seasons. And also rice. Rice is absorbs water. If the water is very warm, rice is quickly absorbs the water. As a result, just break up the rice quickly, and then the sake is becoming more active. So we are trying to delicate style sake. So that's the reason why the sake is brewed in cold place.
Thank you. Now there's one more question from Mr. Das Gupta. Is there any particular storing time for sake?
Storing time? Yeah. Okay, storing time. So this is based on the style. For example, especially for the just after sake brewing seasons, December up to until the April, we are the fresh sake. This is unpasteurized, just a draft sake. And then after that, because of the summer, we have the summer, and the summer in the summer heat, in order to prevent the summer heating, we once pasteurize at the time, and then less risk to be spoiled by the microorganism. And then matured up to until the later October, and then such kind of sake is more and more harmonized, the molecular harmonized. So fresh sake is very good, fresh. However, the texture is rough. The freshly fresh flavor, but texture is not settled down. As time go by, the texture, sake's texture is gradually harmonized. and finally integrated. That is more kind of the mature sake.
Thank you. Now there's one more
Okay.
question from Ananya. What type of sake would you recommend for the beginners?
Beginners. So beginners, for example, we have so many sakes, like sparkling sake, or if somebody who are not good at the high alcohol, then at the lower alcohol sake. So lower alcohol sake is actually, this is kind of trend for the younger people in Japan. And sparkling sake, especially sparkling sake is usually refresh your tongue, right? So that is very good with oily, or I do personally think Indian food is very good. And we also, the cloudy sake, I didn't mention today, but cloudy sake is, the texture is much rich and thick. That is good to Indian curry, because Indian curry is a thick flavors and thick texture that is completely matched with the cloudy sake, which has more thick and ricey textures. That is interesting.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Then I think we have one more question. Should sake be served hot or chilled?
It depends. We can serve as chilled or hot. And in summer, of course, cold and even with the ice cube. And then we have some vessels made of tin. So tin is high temperature conductivity. And then it is very good for the summer. And also the warm sake is good for, but even in the summer, we drink warm sake. Warm sake effectively cut the oil in the mouth. For example, we have the custom to eat eel in summer to get the stamina, to get the energy. But eel has a lot of oil, and then we cannot keep doing oily mouth. And then hot sake, temperature is very hot, and then they are, how can I say, alcohol stimulus, and then they cut the oily flavors. So oily, that warm sake is used for summer temperature as well. Both of them, it depends.
Thank you. Now the next question from Mr. Bura itself is: can sake be used for cooking?
Cooking, sorry, again? Yes, sake is, yeah, that's question. That's very good. Sake is wash away the fishy smells. Sake has an effect to wash away fishy smells. So cooking, preparation. As a preparation, we use the sake to wash out the fishy raw fish smells, and just salt and put in the sake, and after that wash away. And then also we put sake itself into the soy sauce and kind of the not stew, but simmer type of the fish, simmer type of the cooking. You're putting sake directly into the cooking. And two ways, preparation and cooking, and so many. For example, you have the aqua pazza. So aqua pazza, we are making by sake instead of white wine. So basically, if you have the white wine recipe, that is sake can be depressed. Yes, you can use the sake instead. So, and also the spaghetti, the crumb spaghetti. I forgot name. So you have the crumb spaghetti pasta crumb. Anybody help me? So pasta with
Are you referring to clam linguine?
Linguine, not linguine, just a spaghetti with
Clam
crumb.
spaghetti, spaghetti with clam chowder.
Yeah, not crumb chowder. But
Clam sauce.
bongore. Thank you for helping me. So spaghetti bongole type is the crumb, so many crumb, and you will use the white wine. So instead of the white wine, we can use sake. So sake for cooking, yeah, that's true. Every day.
Thank you so much. I think we have few more questions, but we will not be able to take it now today because it's already an hour. And we are really thankful to you for sparing that much time for our students. And there are many other students from other institutions also. So I would like Dr. Nidhi to formally give a bit of thanks.
Right, ma'am.
Dr. Nidhi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am.
All right.
So sorry for that.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Mika Eoka. I'm Dr. Nidhi.
Nice meeting you.
Same here, ma'am. So I, Dr. Nidhi Naina, on behalf of Lakodo Blue School of Hospitality and Tourism and our head of school, Dr. Savita Sharma, GD Goenka University, would like to extend my hearty gratitude to Miss Mika Eoka for accepting our request, and also to the Sake Club of India for taking out time and to be a guest speaker on our webinar series 2021. And I would also like to extend my thanks to our MD sir, Mr. Nipun Goenka, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Professor Dr. Tabrej Ahmed, for giving us this opportunity to organize the webinar series. The session was indeed a very interesting and informative, ma'am. We are very thankful for such interesting and informative session. Lastly, I would like to thank all my audience, students, participants, my colleague, to participate in this webinar and being an excellent audience. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you.
I really
Thank you so
enjoyed.
much.
Thank you so much, and I hope we can meet on the ground in India.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.